The Arizona Diamondbacks are one of the surprise teams of the 2023 season. At the beginning of July, they had a 3-game lead over the Los Angeles Dodgers. And for the first time in a long time, they are buyers at the trade deadline. So what does this Diamondbacks team need to keep the distance between themselves and the rest of the NL West? A starting pitcher to add depth to a fairly unbalanced rotation? A bullpen arm to fix the disaster that is the closer by committee situation that is costing this team wins. And really every team could use another bat in the lineup, and there just so happens to be a player that could fit all of these roles. The Los Angeles Angels are in a tough spot. There have been talks that their star two-way player, Shohei Ohtani, is looking to move on from the Angels in free agency. The Angels haven't been able to put all of the pieces together to make themselves perennial World Series contenders, despite unquestionably having the talent, and spending the money that comes with acquiring said talent.
Shut up and take my money!
If they feel as if they won't be able to re-sign Ohtani this offseason, for what could easily be the largest contract in MLB history, it might make more sense to move on and trade him for future assets, instead of watching him walk in the offseason for nothing.
So you get nothing! You lose! Good day, sir!
And with injuries to Mike Trout and Anthony Rendon this week, the 2023 season might be slipping away from them. The Diamondbacks could be the dark horse team that would make a move on Ohtani for what essentially is a half-season rental. The Diamondbacks don't spend money. Well, not anymore. Mostly due to deferred contracts, it took them nearly 20 years to pay off their last World Series payroll. What the Diamondbacks do now is spend assets, in the form of minor league prospects. The Diamondbacks have traded some top talent in the pursuit of filling needs, including the worst trade in franchise history, when they sent former #1 overall pick Dansby Swanson and other players to Atlanta for Shelby Miller, who went 5-18 with a 6.35 ERA over 3 seasons. Was Shelby Miller the answer in 2016? No, they actually made the wild card in 2017 despite him. But my point is a lot was given up to try and improve a Dbacks team that had finished 2015 79-83 and 3rd in the NL West. The position the Diamondbacks sit now is drastically different. They have a slim division lead heading towards the All-Star break, and the Diamondbacks find themselves as buyers at the trade deadline. The last time they were buyers was in 2017, when they traded 3 prospects for JD Martinez. And at the time, the Diamondbacks were 10.5 games back of the Dodgers in the NL West. They were buyers for the wild card spot. It wasn't even a guarantee if they made the playoffs that season. But they made the playoffs, so it paid off. If you think getting paid off is winning 1 game at home and getting swept by the Dodgers, then mission accomplished? This season, the Diamondbacks are beyond all preseason expectations. So if you ask me, strike while the iron is hot. Championship windows in Major League Baseball tend to be short-lived, especially if you don't try and wedge it open with money. And if I've learned anything from the Diamondbacks over the last 20 years, they aren't going to spend the money like the Dodgers or Padres. But what the Diamondbacks do have is the #3 ranked farm system in Major League Baseball. And like I said earlier, the Diamondbacks love spending prospects. The Diamondbacks have so much depth in the minors, they could send the Angels a solid 5 or 6 player deal for Ohtani, while keeping some players like Jordan Lawler and Drew Jones as untouchables for themselves, as to not completely drain their system. Sending the package of Pavin Smith, Brandon Pfaadt, Bryce Jarvis, Manuel Pena, and Dylan Ray would be a huge haul for the Angels. It would also be an even mix of players that could step into the big leagues in 2023, some top minor prospects that are a year or 2 out, and some organizational needs that could be nice fits in the future. The Angels have about 3 weeks before the trade deadline to make a decision on what to do with Ohtani for the rest of the season. Hell, who knows? They could trade him, receive a ton of minor league assets, and then sign him for $1 billion in the offseason. As this season winds down and the playoffs seem more and more out of reach for the Angels, I think the right move is to trade Ohtani. The Angels rank 28th out of 30 in MLB farm systems, and to lose a generational talent like Ohtani for absolutely nothing seems foolish. For the Diamondbacks, this is most certainly a buy now, win now strategy. The Dbacks most likely won't shill out the kind of money Ohtani will command in the offseason free agency. But giving the biggest surprise team of the season the most talented player in baseball has zero downside to me. With one player, you add a hitter who has 31 home runs before the All-Star break, and you put him in a lineup between Corbin Carroll and Christian Walker, both with 18 home runs. And you add another Cy Young candidate to your rotation. Move Ryan Nelson to the bullpen, and for the love of God, Lavello, pick a closer. The Diamondbacks have blown 16 saves this season and somehow are still leading the NL West. If you think the Diamondbacks are giving up too many prospects in this deal, please let me know in the comments, and I will send you the Shelby Miller deal details. If you were the Angels, who would you want in return? And how much money do you think Ohtani's going to sign for this offseason? Let me know down below. And while you're there, like, subscribe, and you can follow me everywhere at Rob Elderton. And well,